Aha! Welcome to the All Things 80s Christmas party. Now, I have to confess, I was planning on doing this one on Thursday there, but I have been extremely unwell. I'm still not out of the woods yet. I've had a hell of a cold, as you can probably hear, and hence my very warm and cozy appearance. So I do apologize if I have to mute my microphone to have a good cough or a good old sniff. It's been a horrendous cold, but hopefully by Christmas Day I'll be over the worst of it, because this has been a hell of a time. But I had a lot of requests asking if I was doing another Christmas party live stream. So rather than let the viewers down, here we are. So I'll start things out by going through the chat, and then I'll post the link should anyone wish to come on and join the party. And if we get round to it, I do have a rather interesting catalogue lined up. In the past, we've always looked at the Argos catalogues, but finally I found something different to look at from 1982. And I should point out as well, the reason this is starting earlier than normal is I had a quick look on the YouTube to see what other streams were happening, because I didn't want to overlap with anyone. And I'm sure most of you will want to watch Retro Blasting at 4 p.m. East Coast time. So I started this one at 2, and we can wrap it up at 4. So should you wish to, you can go ahead and watch Retro Blasting after this. I'll just get to the chat quickly now. So Ed has said he's gutted. Looks like we'll miss this one as he's out at a Christmas gathering from 6 to 8:30 UK. That's okay, Ed. You can watch it on the what's it called? Watch it on the not the rewind, is it? I don't know, but you get my point. And Jaws, good to see you. Hi, guys and girls. Happy Christmas, and happy Christmas to you. Ray has said, hello, Dean, and everyone. Merry Christmas to all. Well, thank you, Ray. Very kind. Jedi Berry has said, Merry Christmas, Dean, and to all in the chat, and Merry Christmas to you. And K-Dog has said, Merry Christmas from the States. Yes, Merry Christmas. Wow, the chat is very quiet. I'm actually caught up. Looks like there's 23 watching presently. No one's chatting. Like I said, I'll post the link momentarily should anyone wish to join, but this is looking rather dead, which is disappointing. If that's the case, I will guess I'll wrap things up a lot earlier then. Unless I'm having technical difficulties here, I don't know, but yeah, this is very unusual. Kind of put me on the spot here. What you want me to do? Sing a song? Do a dance? I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Oh, Jaws has asked, what's Santa bringing you? I only know the things that I bought to then get given to me. So I got a Star Trek phaser and communicator that I bought for myself and gave to Mrs. AT8 to wrap. I had all those back in the 90s and sold them, but I really do want to have those in my collection again, and these reissues do look pretty good. And Lester, good to see you. Tuning in and packing for tomorrow morning. Anything your area does for this time of the year? My area. Do you mean here in Brooklyn? I don't really know. I don't really go out much. I don't think there's anything special happening here. Tactical Defense, good to see you. And he's from Tamworth. I think every time you come on and you mention Tamworth, I think I mentioned Wolfsbane. Mike, good to see you. Merry Christmas, Dean, from New Zealand. Wow, good to see you. So bling, says Greedo in a Speedo. I'm assuming you're talking about the trees because I'm definitely not feeling very bling myself. And as usual, I'm seeing that YouTube is ahead of StreamYard. So I am seeing chats come up on YouTube that are not appearing, so I can't quite bring them up on the screen just yet. Come on. Yeah, there's a lot of... Here we go. It finally appeared now. So Jeff has said, evening, Dean and everyone in the chat. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and the same to you. Luke is here. Good to see you, Luke. Looking extremely festive, Dean. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas, man. Well, thank you, and the very same right back to you. Greedo saying, Merry Christmas from Michigan. Merry Christmas. Local Hero Cycling. Aberdeenshire signing in. Good to see you. Neil, Merry Christmas from London. Merry Christmas. We're all over the world here. This is fantastic. And K-Dog is wishing Luke a happy Christmas. And Ryan, good to see you, Ryan. Merry Christmas to you. And Jaws recently finished building a Zoid model. It has 1,000 parts in it. Took me 3 weeks to build it. Wow, that's a pretty extensive build. That would probably take me 3 months to build, I would imagine. So I'm just wondering if anyone saw my video that went up this morning looking at these new NECA Batman props. If you were ever on the fence about buying them, please don't. Absolute waste of money. Absolutely outrageous that they're charging $36 for those. Those are at most $10, $15 items. And the fact that there's no, aside from one little light on the bat radio, there's no electronics, there's no sound, there's nothing. It's just a terrible, terrible waste of money. And NECA really not doing themselves any favors. K-Dog, are you all ready for it? Neil has said, do you watch the Christmas football over there? You see, this is where it gets confusing for me because football means football, but that in America means soccer. I don't know if, football being NFL, which I don't watch. So do they have games on at Christmas? I have no idea. But my football game in Scotland was called off today. I think they said frozen pitch. So I had no game to watch today. Very disappointing. K-Dog has said, almost got all the gifts, just haven't wrapped them. Wolves, a wee happy Christmas from Wolves. Happy Christmas to you. Yep, saw that NECA video. Those items are not even worth $3.60, never mind 36. Yeah, terrible, terrible waste of money. The only thing I want is the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon figures. Look real nice. Okay. Merry Christmas, says Rodney. Merry Christmas to you. The NFL. Okay, no, I don't watch NFL. Max video. Merry Christmas to you, mate. I'm poorly too. At least I get off work sick every cloud. I hope to be back to full fitness for the big day. Yeah, me too. Get well soon. I'm from England. Football, yes. Sorry you're unwell. I have a full-blown cold too. No tasting Christmas dinner this year. Yes, bizarre. So for all these, well, when did I think COVID kind of took off in? I guess it was the spring of 2000, and I had absolutely no illness whatsoever, zero coughs, zero sniffles, until in June of this year in Thailand we caught the actual COVID, and since then I've had a few sort of minor colds. This one right now is an absolute shocker. So I don't know if the COVID did something to my immune system. Who knows? Ben is here. Good to see you, Ben. Heidi, Merry Christmas to you, yourself, and the family, and to all in the chat. You sound full of cold, dude. Yep, absolutely. It's been this way for a few days. Believe it or not, this is me getting slightly better. Gerard O'Connor, good to see you, Gerard. Everyone, hope you're feeling better soon. Thanks. How long have you been in the USA? 20 years, and it will be coming to an end very shortly. Thankfully, we just got the documents, or the document, our marriage certificate that's been all over the country getting stamped by various authorities, culminating in Antony Blinken, the US Secretary of State, having to sign it and stamp it. It's a funny process, but it's done now, so hopefully we can head on out of here in the new year. But in saying that, whilst, excuse me, I've pretty much sold everything that needs to be sold, it's now a case of packing up all these collectibles, and I am going to be spending an absolute fortune on bubble wrap, I can just tell. Plus, I was just looking at my Megatron, and I'm thinking, for the sake of shipping, he will need to be shipped in Decepticon mode, because I'm sure all the boxes are going to get, well, I know they're going to get scanned. The shipping company told me I can't ship certain things, so I'll need to put Megatron in his Decepticon mode so they don't see a handgun as part of the shipping, which is quite something, I guess. What's your favorite series to watch when unwell or unable to move? What always cheers you up? I don't have anything I go back to watch, but I will say, I think I mentioned this previously, the owner of the house here cut cable a few months back, so I got an Amazon Fire Stick. And a few weeks back, there was an offer for the BritBox app, for it, whereby it's $2 a month for a few months. So I bought that, and I've been watching a lot of old UK sitcoms. Obviously, I've been watching Are You Being Served Again, but I discovered one I'd never seen before called Only When I Laugh, which is set in a hospital ward, which is really good. And I've been watching To the Manor Born again. Another one that I'd never seen before, Mind Your Language, which is pretty funny, but obviously not something that would fly these days, I would imagine. So let me post the link if anyone wishes to join this. I mean, it's not much of a party, but it's just me rambling on. Let me see if I can do this. So let me try here. There we go. That's posted, and once that moves up on YouTube, I can pin that to the top. Gerard has a good suggestion here. Hot whiskey and excellent Irish cure for a cold. Yep, it's tea for me this evening. Home Alone is my go-to Christmas movie, so Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Yeah, in the past, I have done the hot toddy. Basically, whiskey, hot water, honey, and lemon. It actually is a delicious drink, but I don't have any whiskey, which is probably a good thing. Although I do have a sherry poured here. Not the typical sherry glass, because I packed all those up and took them to Thailand last time. So those nice glasses are in Thailand. I've got a whiskey glass full of sherry. So we start making the trifle tomorrow. K-Dog has said, Are You Being Served is hilarious. PBS used to air it on a Saturday night when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, it really is a fantastic show. In fact, all these old sitcoms really are the best. I can't think of a single modern sitcom that is up there in terms of quality as the old stuff. Happy accident, happy holidays, and same to you. I'm doing vanilla coffee, chocolate Ovaltine, and rum chata. That sounds interesting. Ovaltine. Why do they call it Ovaltine? I mean, the jar's round and the mug is round. I'm sorry, I keep having to repeat that line from Seinfeld every time someone mentions Ovaltine. Mind Your Language and Only When I Laugh. Remember seeing them. Mind Your Language is definitely one that wouldn't make today's TV listings. Oh no, not at all. Same with Love Thy Neighbor, which is actually really funny as well. Only When I Laugh. That was HAPPY. Yes, it was indeed. Laughing. Jared says, I believe Only Fools and Horses are back for a Christmas special. Wow, interesting. Actually, that's on BritBox. So once I get done with Are You Being Served, etc., I'll go back and watch Are You Being Served from the beginning. Only Fools and Horses was great. Yeah. So in the UK, so I've been gone 20 years now. Has there been any sitcom that has come out in the last 20 years that is as good as these old ones that we all enjoyed? Because in America, I think I did enjoy Big Bang Theory. That was good. But aside from that, I don't really think of any sitcoms that are particularly good in the last couple of decades. All right, Dave. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. And I'm thinking back, wasn't there one, it might have been a Christmas special where Del and Rodney were dressed up as Batman and Robin. Now, was that possibly like a formal Christmas party and they misconstrued the dress code or something? It's been a long time. I don't really remember, but please do let me know. Are you going to get any Turtles of Grayskull? I know you're bitter with Mattel, as am I. No, not at all. And speaking of Mattel, how funny is this? So I did the video saying I was done with Mattel because they've made it too difficult to collect every figure that I want. And I'm not going to pay the prices on eBay. So I said, that's it, I'm done. Now, last week we went down to Graceland, and whilst at the Elvis complex, all the shops sell modern stuff. It's all modern souvenirs. There's a restaurant just down Elvis Presley Boulevard called Marlowe's, which is where Elvis himself used to eat. And they have this big pink limousine that they pick you up in and take you down there. Fantastic barbecue food. But they have a gift shop that has basically not modern stuff, a lot of, secondhand stuff, etc. So I saw something I really liked. So I got myself this 68 comeback special Elvis doll, and I was really happy with it. And I got back to the hotel, flipped it over, and it is in fact from Mattel. So I'm wondering if this is possibly some sort of Ken doll dressed up as Elvis. I have no idea. But yeah, I thought that was quite funny, having just said I was done with Mattel, end up with more Mattel. Let me see here. The Ranch. I know it's American, but on Netflix. I've not heard of that. Gavin and Stacey was okay. Now, is that guy that ended up being a chat show host in America? I don't even remember his name, but yeah, if it is the same guy, I don't care for him at all. Absolutely not. It's an abomination. Nothing good. Hence why we always look at the past. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Joe, good to see you. Hello, all. Merry Christmas, Dean. Merry Christmas to you. That was a Christmas special where Del and Rodney dressed up as Batman and Robin. Right, I thought it might have been a Christmas special. Hasbro are being pretty stupid too. Mutt is the only figure I'm going to get for the foreseeable future. Mutt, I don't know what Mutt is from. Is that G.I. Joe, possibly? I don't know. Yes, that was exactly what you think about the Del Boy, Batman, and Robin Christmas special. Okay, thanks. The League of Gentlemen is weird funny. I've heard of that. Not seen it, though. It was the 2001 trilogy over Christmas. Del and Rodney think they're actually going to a fancy dress, but the bloke who was holding the party dies, and they missed the memo called Heroes and Villains. Ah, right, remember it now. Brilliant. I saw the American version of Only Fools and Horses on YouTube. It was terrible. John I don't even know that name. Leguizamo as Del Boy and Christopher Lloyd as Granddad. Ah, there were loads of Back to the Future gags. Not good. I didn't even know that was a thing. Ah, James Corden. He's an A. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Are you going to take the Motu collection to Thailand, or still thinking about selling and buying again out? Funny you should mention that, because yesterday I was just looking at it all, and I started out with the intention whereby I would only keep a handful of essential figures, primarily the ones that were released first time round in 82, and that would be it, and I would just sell the rest. But upon seeing them all, I thought, oh, these are kind of cool. So then I thought, okay, keep the figures and sell the vehicles and creatures. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've not taken any action on that yet, but that is my thinking. And it just frustrates me that there are figures out there currently for sale that I can't get hold of because I can't get to a Walmart or a Target. Plus the fact that Target cancel your pre-orders, Walmart cancel pre-orders, and they get the exclusives. It's just ridiculous. And as I said in that video I did, with these vintage figures going to be exclusively on Mattel Creations, an $18 figure is already now becoming a $27, $28 figure because of Mattel's shipping. So it's not something I'm going to pursue any further. But yeah, I am thinking I will take the figures with me. But in saying that, though, there's so many of them, they're going to take up so much display room. So I may do it whereby I only put a few out at a time, because I really don't want to commit an entire area just to Masters of the Universe, because as I've said before, whilst I did play with them as a kid and I did watch the cartoon every week, I didn't actually own any. Ben can't stand James Corden. Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of. He's a bit of a twat. Not sure how long ago it was televised, but I really enjoyed Spin City, starring the great MJ Fox. Whoa, hang on. Is anyone else seeing a commercial just now? I've just had a commercial come up on my YouTube feed. That is not cool. I did not authorize that. Please let me know in the comments if you had a commercial come up. That's not something I'm happy about. That's weird. Jared says nobody can yet. All things 80s. Mutt is a G.I. Joe, so it was a good guess from me. He's a deluxe fig that comes with a Rottweiler named Junkyard. Okay. Ben saying hi to Gerard. Rodney is the new Frasier show. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. I thought, wait a minute, there's Rodney. I never actually watched the original Frasier, so I'm not going to watch this new one. And since you're going to be in Thailand, would you get access to the figs they ship from China? Well, believe it or not, I can order from Pop Culture in Australia, which I did last time I was there. So they're pretty much like, I guess, Australia's big bad toy store kind of thing. Although I had to pay import taxes when they came into Thailand. But I'm thinking, once I get there, my modern collecting is pretty much over. The only thing I was actively collecting was McFarlane's Batman. And with them moving further and further away from the TV show. I have no reason to keep collecting those. I'm not getting this latest wave, the 77 animated show. So I think I'm done with modern stuff. Pretty great classified set. Okay. Don't worry about so-called Walmart or Target exclusives. It's absolute nonsense. Yeah, we've discussed this before about... Although in saying that, though, right at this moment in time, things like the Mossman and Duplico are absolutely exclusive to Walmart. And unless you have access to multiple Walmart stores that you can check on a daily basis, you're not getting them for retail price. Sir Ben, hello. Yeah, what the fuck was that? So is that in reference to the commercial, I presume? Once again, YouTube and Google trying to squeeze every penny out of everyone. Unbelievable. Came in late and saw people mentioning TV shows. I mentioned it before, but I think you would love Last Train to Christmas. It's about time travel. It starts in 1986 and finishes in World War II. A rare gem. I'll need to try and look for that. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I saw that so yeah, you saw that commercial. I thought that was odd. Huh. It just had an ad too. Crazy. Not your fault. Yeah, thanks for understanding, but Retroblasting brought that up in an email, the insertion of ads. Let me know what you said, Lester. I'm curious. Yeah, they really are. They're taking more and more cuts as well, I've noticed. It's quite ridiculous. Hi to Lester. How do you feel about it being the last Christmas in New York? Feeling sentimental or just anxious to leave and move on? Well, interesting you should say that. I really wasn't expecting to be here for this Christmas because last year I was able to get my 3-month Thai visa, which I'm able to get courtesy of being married to a Thai national. But I thought last year would be my last New York or last cold Christmas. So we only stayed for 2 months, thinking we wouldn't be here for this Christmas. But as it turned out, with the paperwork required for me to move there, we're still here, obviously. So how do I feel? I'm glad to get one last shot at a cold Christmas, because whilst I've not been in Thailand for Christmas, I have been in Thailand. I think we arrived December 28 one year, so everything was still decorated for Christmas. And let me tell you, looking at Christmas trees and snowman statues while you're wearing shorts and sweating your ass off is the strangest thing. Quite bizarre, really. And there's one dessert chain called Swenson's, and they had a lot of Christmas-themed ice cream desserts, which I thought was quite weird, seeing people get stuck into ice cream like snowmen and Christmas trees while wearing shorts and t-shirts. It's very weird, but yeah, anxious to leave and move on, pretty much. Yeah, but I'm annoyed they decided to drop 1,100 employees in December. They're going to you see, whilst I've got no real skin in this game because I don't really collect modern stuff, I have seen other videos, other channels, briefly talk about these layoffs, and then sort of giddily start talking about how they can't wait to get the latest Star Wars figures or G.I. Joes. It's like, have a bit of backbone, and isn't it time that people just boycotted Hasbro, teach them a lesson? Because cutting someone's job at any time of the year is a horrible thing, but to do it at Christmas time, unbelievable. But yeah, I guess some folks would rather have their little bits of plastic than have any morals, I guess. Let me know what you think. I purchased Moss Man, made me feel a bit sick. They will probably be 10 quid on Big Bad in a year's time if my experience is anything to go by. Yeah, I think the same thing happened with the Target's Sunman 3-pack, the first one, whereby that sold out immediately and they were going on eBay for over $100. And then they came back in stock and were slashed in price. The Porridge Christmas special was on telly earlier. I like to watch the Bottom Christmas episode. Rick Mail, brilliant. Also like to watch Tales from the Crypt segment. Nice. Left for Fett, hello there. Gridrunner Shack says, hi Dean, great to see you back. Really appreciated the time capsule video. Oh yeah, thoughtful and touching. Great to see the live stream. It's now the fixture of my Christmas routine and get well soon. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's, I think, I don't know if you saw it. It was my own fault because in the heat of the moment doing that video, I'd said, because I was feeling so happy and emotional, I just said, you know, this has been such a special video. I hope no one gives it a thumbs down. That was a big mistake because, as it turns out, that video has had more thumbs down than any other videos. And I think there are a lot of losers out there who watch YouTube and take pride in doing things like that. So, but you know what? I'd rather be me than be them. Hi to Lester and hi to Luke. Hello, K-Dog. Absolutely agree. Nothing short of a disgrace, and no F's given by Hasbro. No, none whatsoever. Yeah, I saw Last Train to Christmas the other day. Pretty good. Being from Nottingham, was surprised how good Carrie Elwes' accent was. Pretty spot on. Curious, Dean, do you have a day job you're going to relocate to Thailand? Generally speaking, not trying to get... No, we're going to open an eatery of some kind, whether it's in a market or a little restaurant, we don't know yet, but that's absolutely the intention. And I'm really looking forward to that. Something we can have real control over, because Mrs. AT8, she's been a head chef at Thai restaurants here in New York, and I think I do okay for, in the kitchen. So together we can do something that I'm really, really looking forward to doing. We don't have Walmart, Target, etc. in here in Ireland, no. Bearded Geek Toys says, hi Dean, just popping into the stream to say get well soon, excuse me, and wish you and everyone a Merry Christmas and all the best for 2024. Thank you, and the very same to you. Forbidden Planet and Sub-City comics are my go-to for figures and collectibles in Dublin. The allure of plastic crack is heavy for some. Yeah. Yeah, another thing was, I saw something, I forget what channel it was now, where they were almost defending Hasbro's actions by laying these people off. And I'm thinking, good Lord, I'm assuming you've never been in the position where you've lost your job at Christmas time and you have to go home and tell your family that Christmas is cancelled. Absolutely despicable. And as I said, they were getting all giddy at the prospect of these new figures. And I think it's a god-awful looking 2-pack of, was it Attack of the Clones? It's like the battle droid with C-3PO's head on it. Like, good Lord, crazy. Bearded Geek, UD man, Merry Christmas, sir. Sai, good to see you here. Merry Christmas, Bearded Geek Toy Reviews. All the best to Gerard and Sai. Great comment. Totally agree. Yep. Hi to Gerard. Dublin City Comics on Capel Street is my favorite. Pad CU. So you like noodles, huh? You know what? Excuse me. This isn't really turning out to be much of a party, so let's make it a Q&A. So you can fire in any questions you so wish, and I will do my best to answer. You know, I always give honest answers. So if there's something you wish to know, now's your chance to get your comments in. Okay, here we go. And Jason has said, Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas to you. Ed says, well done in getting the stream up for today, especially in a clearly weakened state. Yeah, I wasn't going to, but there were so many people asking for it, so I thought, let me see if I can do this. And Sai is asked, so how is the new camera? Okay, I'm not using this yet. It's going to be a whole learning curve. I'm going to have to take some time to work things out because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, if I'm being honest. I'm assuming I can use like a automatic function and just hit record, but I'd like to try and make things a bit better. But again, I keep saying this. Obviously, when I move, hopefully the standard of my videos will increase tenfold, because right now, not only am I limited by space, I try to not show too much of the background because I'm not particularly happy with how things look here. But once we move, I'll be able to make much more, I guess, expansive videos with nicer backgrounds and things. But I'm going to take some time to learn this new camera, because I think most people know the camera I've been using, I had it for over 9 years and it served me well, but now it's having some real problems whereby when I'm recording a video, it will just reboot itself. So it'll stop, go off for like 10 seconds and come back on, which obviously, if you're recording something and that keeps happening, it's a real pain in the ass. And also the audio drops in and out. It's, you know, I guess in this day and age, to have a piece of technology last for 9 years is pretty good. So it had to happen eventually. So I got a new camera. Excuse me. It arrived this week, and that came courtesy from Patreon. So I always did say the Patreon memberships will be used to enhance the channel. That's exactly what I've done, but I will take some time to get used to it. Joe says, I just landed a job after searching for months and literally 200 plus resume submittals. Very difficult time for job-specific types. Screw these effing Hasbros once and for all. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Accident asks, what's your favorite toy that you got this year? It's a really good question. This year. Oh, it has to be the Action Men. That's some Action Man. Well, I have multiple, so it's Action Men. That's something, since I began doing the channel, I knew I would eventually have to get myself an Action Man, which I enjoyed having as a kid. And when I got those I think were this year's favorites. Is that my final answer? Just give me 1 second. You've put me on the spot now. I can't even remember what I got this year. Action Man. Yeah, that's my final answer, Action Man. Have you watched Gremlins, Ghostbusters, or Back to the Future yet? Okay, 1 second. Yes, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Thoroughly enjoyed them. How can I say this? Yeah, good fun movies, but not necessarily something I would watch over and over again. But yeah, tried to watch Gremlins, but couldn't find an online stream for free. Ghostbusters, I did see one of them. It was on TV a while back. But yeah, Back to the Future, yes. Bit of a Brit trivia. So Last Christmas finally made the #1 song in Brit Christmas charts 40 years after it came out. Ah, excellent. And actually, you've got to be honest, that's you've got to feel bad for Wham, because I think if I had to give an honest answer, I think Last Christmas is probably the best 80s Christmas song. And had it not been for Band Aid, absolutely would have been #1 in '84. As it is, Shakin' Stevens had the foresight to postpone his single until the following year, where I think he did get #1 the following year. But yeah, it's good that Wham are finally #1 with that. Sly would like to know, how have you found? I'd like to know how you found yourself moving to the U.S. Because wife #1 was an American lass. Met her she was traveling in Scotland with her friend. Maybe you've not heard this story. Let me start again. The reason I'm here in America is because Attack of the Clones was such a bad movie. Let me explain. When Attack of the Clones came out, it was my friend and I's intention after work to watch the movie back to back 2 times. So we bought the tickets for the first showing and we sat there. The movie ended and we said, nah, let's go to the bar. So we went to a bar in Edinburgh and we heard some American accents and we got talking to these gals and exchanged emails. And then from there, I ended up moving to America. So it's all George Lucas's fault, but I'm glad it happened though. Guess who found his childhood Evel Knievel stunt cycle a few weeks ago when getting the Christmas decorations down from the attic? Fantastic. Now, is that the weird sort of dirt bike model that I think we discussed before? In total, do you know the exact number of 66 Batman items in your possession? Absolutely not, because the trouble is they're in various storage containers. If you give me a few months, I will be able to give you an exact answer. If I had to guess, I don't know. I really don't. Hundreds, I think. But how many hundreds, I'm not entirely sure. That's a top find. Must have been awesome to find it. Yeah. Yeah, it must be nice. Are you going to do some Thailand tour videos aside from the usual content of the channel where when you get there? It would be cool to see some land. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that because let's be honest, the whole vintage toy scene is somewhat limiting. The views are not really that good if we're being honest, and I would like to expand. But yeah, oh my god, yeah, there's tons of things I could show from Thailand. Yeah, I will do that, definitely. Also, in regards to your trip to Graceland, could I ask if you had a private or group tour? Looked like you had the run of the place. Okay. It was, I guess, semi-private is the word, where I think there were eight of us in it's groups of 8. And on this particular tour, they had a guide for each separate room. So I think under normal circumstances, the regular house tour, you basically it's like a free-for-all where everyone gets an audio device with headphones and possibly even an iPad, and you kind of just walk through yourself and you press what room you're in and through the headphones you hear what each room is, etc. But this was like one guide for each room, and it was nice. It was very quiet, far nicer than these mass, groups. Yeah, it would have been nice to have the run of the place, though. But yeah, it was wonderful. It certainly was, and still in perfect working order. I'm a real world motorcycle nut job. Love them. Nice one. Got it, Bounce. Great stream. Okay, thank you for stopping by. I mentioned to the missus that I'm going to get myself the Origins Castle Grayskull because it's down to 38 quid. Look of horror on her face. She'd already got it for me. I love that bird. Nice one. That's awesome. It certainly is. Merry Christmas to Happy Accident. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy Accident. George Michael died on Christmas Day. What a bummer. Yep, absolutely. Yep, 2016. I'm trying to think now. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's, my God, my memory's playing tricks on me now. 2016. When did Rick Parfitt from Status Quo die? Wasn't he around about Christmas time as well? Or was that a different year? Maybe someone else knows. Agreed on Last Christmas, yeah. No childhood gems in my attic, just dust, comics, and guitars. I have retired when upgrading. What will you miss about New York? Atmospheric strolls across the sidewalks, anything in particular? No, nothing whatsoever. And I'm not just saying that. It's not what it used to be, put it that way. Not necessarily New York specific, but I will miss cold weather, I think. It is nice when you have to wrap up and put your winter coat on and go out. I will miss that part of things. Let the inventory commence. Yes, indeed. Yes, team. It is indeed the weird motocross variant of the toy. Nice. David Bowie died around Christmas time too. Yeah. George Michael was a great performer. Yeah, I got to be honest. I really enjoyed that documentary on Netflix. I think it's just called Wham, possibly. Really interesting. Thoroughly enjoyable. How did you find adjusting to life in America, home and work, etc.? What kind of work did you do and how different was it? Okay. Very different. So in Scotland, I worked in a bank and then I guess like an insurance type company. And then when I came to America, the first job I took was at a factory making industrial wire brushes. So I went from office to working at a machine making these industrial wire brushes. And after, I think it was 2 years, I thought, what am I doing here? So I quit that and then went to a temp agency in New York and ended up at a law firm. And then from there got into, I think, what they call records retention. And that did that for 12 years. And what was the question? How different was it? Nah, basically the same. I think offices throughout the world are all the same, whereby it's not the work that's the problem, it's the people. Sai asks, so when are you going to get around to watching the 89 Batman and Batman Returns? Oh my God, Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman, instant teenage crush. Ah, yes. Excuse me. That's definitely on my list. I'm 100% will try to get to those. I've noticed on one of my apps on the Fire Stick, they have the last Pattinson Batman movie, but I'm not sure I want to watch that. We'll see. Ben says, thinking ahead, if you do 2024 live streams, what time of day would work out as GMT? Well, okay, good question. In order to keep my normal live schedule, that would mean starting live in Thailand, depending on the time of year, but either 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, which may or may not be a problem, but it's something I would have to do, because if I were to go live at what, 3, if I were to do 3 p.m. in Thailand, that's 3 in the morning East Coast America. It's not going to work out. So yeah, I will definitely have to adjust things. And I don't know if anyone watched Ed5's live stream yesterday, but when the Australian lads do live streams, those go live in America like 5 or 6 in the morning. So obviously we do have some serious time zone issues. Jaw says, a lot of celebrities died in 2016. Prince, Tom Petty, Glenn Frey, Carrie Fisher, Debbie Reynolds, David Bowie, and that guy from Status Quo. Okay. I see. Oh, the Melvor, thank you so much. And that's Alien Face. Very kind. I appreciate that. Thank you. 2016 sucked. One word, Brexit. My C, one had extremely good eye as a teenager. Damn, a beautiful lady right there. Nice one, the Melvor. Yeah, thank you, Melvor. K-Dog says, Toy Galaxy, sorry to drop another channel, just did a video disparaging Batman Returns. The clowns lost major points, not that they had many. I've got to be honest, is Toy Galaxy... I've heard the name, but it doesn't ring any bells as to what the channel is, but is New York really that bad? We hear bad things about... Yeah, it is. It's terrible. We've not used the subway in 4 years now because there's so many robberies, people getting pushed on tracks, ladies getting raped. It's just despicable. And I, for the last, what's it now, 4 years basically, I've been in Manhattan, I think, less than 4 times in 4 years. It's a hellhole. And no one does anything about it. It's just not safe. That's what I'm really looking forward to the most, is anytime I'm in Thailand, it just feels so safe, so welcomed. Not the case here. So Batman Returns, a fine Christmas movie to enjoy. Toy Galaxy sold out to Hasbro. Oh, hi. What's his name? Dan someone. Not Pixel Dan, but Dan. Yeah, I know who you mean now. Yeah. Dan, there we go. Dan Larson and his friend Greg are the hosts. He recently made publicity by hosting an event for Hasbro. Right, I see. Yeah. 2006, we lost many subs, and they fell in quick succession. It was almost like a domino effect. Yeah. Okay, Dean, got to shoot off. Happy Christmas to you and everyone in the chat. Catch you again. Okay, thank you, Jeff. You need Edward Woodward back on duty on the subway, yeah. Merry Christmas, Jeff. Stay well. Vintage Toy Rush. Hi, Dave. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah. So in terms of traditions, now, for a start, let me just say this. I cannot believe that tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I say this every single year, that time is moving by far too quickly. But this year, more so than ever, the time has flown by. And just the fact that we're now at, today, December 23, it, honest to God, it feels like last week I put these trees up. They've been up for almost a month now. This one, certainly. I just don't know how that has happened. It's quite scary to think that we're just over a week away from another year, 2024. Absolutely crazy. And the sad part is, I probably would sell my soul to the devil if it meant I had the power to slow down time. Because time is one thing that no man can control. And it is absolutely scary to think that next year I will be 50 years old. And even just hearing myself say those words, it makes no sense to me, because in my head, I am still just 15. I'm still that same kid, but nope. I am almost a 50-year-old man. I just don't understand it. Hi to VTR. The best Bond movie. Oh, that's a really good question. I'm conflicted with Bond because when I saw Bond for the first time, Roger Moore was in the role, so that's the one that kind of sticks with me. But I do like Sean Connery. And then to give you an answer, it's not even based on it being the best movie, but simply for the soundtrack of View to a Kill. Merry Christmas to Jeff. Toy Galaxy have changed the channel to Secret Galaxy. Shills for certain. Yeah. Hopefully you all saw my video regarding shills on YouTube, and I gave my first-hand experience about being offered free things to do a video on, when clearly you are being told what to say and you have to submit your video for approval before publishing it. And therefore, you can guarantee that 99.9% of these videos reviewing a product are saying what the company wants you to say. And I had absolutely no intention of doing that. Furthermore, the lightsaber I was offered, I looked at some other videos of that lightsaber, and you can see people struggling with it, and they're saying, "Oh, this is amazing! This is fantastic!" Because the one in particular, it had some sort of, what do you call it? Is it gyrometer or whatever? The sort of movement-based sensor, whereby you have to like twist it in a certain way to activate different functions. And you could see the guy struggling to get it to work. He's like, "Oh, this is so cool! Wow, I can't believe it did." I'm like, "Whoa, dude. You sold your soul for a free lightsaber. I am not doing that." But yeah, too many shills. Merry Christmas to Jeff. Merry Christmas to Retro, to Toy Guy. Hang on, let me start again. Retro Toy Guy Sai is wishing Vintage Toy Russia Merry Christmas. Excuse me. Hey, LFDF. Sai. Hi, VTR. Okay. 2323. Who'd have thought? Oh, yes. Good point. The Equalizer. Loved that show. Would you not move back to the UK? No, absolutely not. I did think about it quite seriously 4 years ago after my father passed away. We had to go there to deal with everything. And 1 second. And the temptation was to think, oh, I could come back and everything would be like how it used to be, but which was clearly never going to be the case. Furthermore, in order to get Mrs. AT8 into the UK, that was a whole other process. Plus the family home, like this was like a, I think the house was from like the 1700s or something, and it's the type of, you know, house that always needs to be maintained, and the cost of that alone. Mrs. AT8's visa situation. I'm not even a UK citizen anymore, so my situation, plus the horrible weather, couldn't do it. And as it is, because of the exchange rates and the cheaper cost of living in Thailand, all of it made sense to head there. Biggest kid in the house, Dean, and I'd imagine that goes for all here. Oh, absolutely. Aunt Teeter, 100%. This year feels like, yeah. Oh, Lester, thank you so much. Incredibly kind of you. It says, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Here's pocket change for your travels. When you head out, I'm disappointed your Thai toy tour videos weren't doing well. I appreciated them. Good luck for 24. Oh, thank you, Lester. Incredibly kind of you, and that is very much appreciated. Thank you, sir. Like. Yes, please do like. It does help things out here. I don't know how up to date YouTube is, but it's saying there's 8 likes, but there's 40 watching. I never really understand how these things work. Oh, we've got a lot of chat to catch up on. That's nice. Keeps me occupied. Dude, in my head, I'm 21, but my body keeps letting me know that I'm in my 40s, and watching my kids grow up is scary. Yes. And Auntie just says it's flown by. It certainly has. Well, Lester, that's a great Christmas. Yes, it really is. Thank you, Lester. Nice one, Lester. Thank you. Edward Woodward had a small part in the movie Who Dares Wins. He plays the police captain who hands over control of the situation from the police to the SAS. Okay. Hasbro sent Analog Toys a package like that, and Tony didn't submit his vid and made an awesome vid on some classifieds. I think, yeah, I saw that actually. That's how you do it. That's how you teach them a lesson, kind of thing. But I think it is important to know that whenever you see these videos of people fawning over Hasbro and telling everyone how amazing these products are, it's because they've been told to say that. And they know that if they don't say that, they won't get any more free toys. I don't know whatever happened to pride and a bit of self-respect, but clearly it's gone missing somewhere, because ultimately what we're talking about here is grown men selling their soul and basically lying on video in order to keep getting free toys. Very sad situation, if you ask me. And Dave says, Roger Moore, my favorite. Have a soft spot for Your Eyes Only, even though it's not a great film. Really hope they choose well for the next Bond. Yeah. Yeah. And again, for those of us that grew up in the UK, ITV on Christmas Day or possibly Boxing Day was always the big Bond movie. Batman Returns is a good Christmas movie. Merry Christmas, Retro Toy Guy Cy, and to Ben. The Knights of Old, happy holidays all. Merry Crimbo Dean, looking very festive at your place. Thank you. Yeah, I always, like to put in the work. And also, this is how interesting is this? So as I said, I've been in Thailand before Christmas and immediately after Christmas, but I can confirm that they do sell real Christmas trees in Thailand. Now, I've no idea how well they last in that heat, but I'm not going to take any chances because I can just imagine the place being covered in pine needles virtually immediately. But I am going to have to find some nice artificial trees. But it shouldn't be a problem because Thailand has really embraced Christmas. And I've already sort of figured out where I can put at least 2 trees in the house, so looking forward to that. I went to New York in 2003. I liked it, but I wanted to see the New York from the 70s and 80s. The New York I wanted from Crocodile Dundee, Superman 2, Ghostbusters, etc. had gone. Yeah. Merry Christmas to Knights of Old and just a regular gamer. I see 34 thumbs up. Oh, let me just refresh YouTube then. Okay. Yeah, everything, nothing really works side by side here for some reason. And there's another ad when I refresh YouTube. Unbelievable. And of course, we all know my story of this year where, okay, 37 likes. And my story whereby I was YouTube demonetized me and I was out of action for 4 months and they wouldn't listen. Unbelievable. Personally, I wouldn't recommend anyone moving to the UK anytime soon. Feel like it's having every last penny wrung out of it before the wealthy ones leave. Yeah, in fact, I would suggest that New York is only good for the super wealthy and the super poor. If you're in the middle, you have no chance here. Realize, so transparent. That's like a Machine Head song. I think it was Real Eyes, Realize, Real Lies. Speaking of Bond, I just bought my favorite toy, what I got one Xmas in the 80s. A knockoff Bond suitcase called Agent 707 by Redbox. Was originally $7.99 from Argos. Now goes for well over $100. Wow. That's why I moved to the Netherlands, mate. It's really sad to see what's happening to my old country. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm getting out of, well, I just realized that I'm always escaping countries. I'm sure 90% of the problems are in here, but I always like to leave things behind. But yeah, there's no way I can stay in America. Can't afford to for a start, but it's just, it's not the America you see in these old, 50s and 60s movies, put it that way. Jaws wants a real BD 5J set. I don't know what that is. Please do inform me. I'm going to prep for family event, catch the rest on replay. Merry Christmas, everyone, and especially for you and the Mrs. Dina. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Merry Christmas, K-Dog. Merry Christmas, K-Dog. Popular guy here. Just been out taking photos of all the fabulous lighting displays on people's homes. That really gives me a kick, and they get better each year, now adding music and sound to their decorations. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like there's a pissing contest with certain streets where one house does a lot, so next door has to do even more, and then next door to them does even more. It must cost them a fortune to keep doing that. Where do they keep these decorations for 11 months of the year? Ben, don't blame you, considering my options too. Isn't it sad that everyone's escaping the countries that they grew up in? I got to add interruptions. I got to add interruptions at my end. Okay. Boom, Dean, my man, Gerard. Machine effing head. Ah. So, hang on. Jared says, I've seen Machine Head 5 times. Is there any bands you've seen multiple times? The chat or Dean? Oh, yeah. Multiples. Oh, my God. Many. I would need to take time with a bit of paper and a pencil to write it all down, but I think the band I may have seen the most might be Anthrax. Probably closely followed by Megadeth. And then Volbeat might be up there. Maybe even Duran Duran. Okay, how about this? If we ever do a music-based live stream, I'll get all that information in order. Yeah, I think I would say Anthrax. Ah, Sai. Thank you so much, sir. Right, I have to shoot. Have a great Christmas, everyone. See you in 2024. Thank you, Sai. You have a wonderful Christmas with your family, and we will indeed see you in 2024. Thank you again. Very much appreciated. Best wishes to Sai. Nice one. Retro toy guy, Sai. Indeed, thank you, Sai. Wolves says, went to Perth, Australia for Christmas 2009. It was 38 degrees on Christmas Day. Strange but nice. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I did experience New Year in Thailand. Holy crap, another commercial just came up on YouTube. Sorry, I do apologize about this. At least I can skip it after 5 seconds, but does that mean that your viewing experience gets delayed by 5 seconds, or am I still talking and the ad covers what I'm saying? I don't know, but bizarre. Yeah, New Year in Thailand was odd. Sweating my ass off, and everyone's counting down. I thought, oh, normally it's like freezing when this happens. You know what? I've reached that point in time where I do need to take a bathroom break. What I'll do is I will play my Christmas song. I won't play it. I'll let it play as long as I'm taking care of business. Hopefully, be like 90 seconds. There's 40 at the moment. Hopefully, when I come back, there's still 40. But let me just play the song while I take care of business. I promise I will be right back as quickly as I possibly can.
Christmas time, and I'm feeling high as I sit here thinking of the years gone by. Dreams of Santa, dreams of snow. Where has the time gone? Nobody knows. Thinking back to a happier time. Plates of turkey and glasses of wine. With friends and family all long gone, as I stare into the abyss of a brand new dawn. I'm chasing the ghosts of Christmas past, reliving memories that were always built to last, living the dreams from a time gone by, when laughter and joy would reach the sky. I'm chasing the ghosts of Christmas past, as life these days is just so damn fast. Those memories that fill my mind, back when I was happy, back when I was kind. It's hard, but when you're having fun, deep in the snow or under the sun.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption there. And we lost 9 viewers. Oh dear. I'm trying to get back to the chat here. The ad covers what you're saying. Okay, maybe there's some way of bypassing this, because it's one thing to have an ad come up on a recorded video, but to have it on a live stream is pretty useless. Jaws has now had 3 ad interruptions. Another ad break my end. And missing sentences. Now, this is not good. I'm getting adverts. Lester, yeah, sorry to hear about the ads. For instance, updated their price for YouTube Premium. So that okay, so they're trying to push people to pay for Premium, I guess. I got to say though, I don't have Premium. My sister-in-law in Thailand has Premium, and I got so used to using that. In particular, at the time, Metallica were on tour, and every few days they would put up a new live video that I would watch on the big screen in Thailand. So when we came back, they were still uploading more videos. But of course, with me not having the premium, it was like ads, like what the hell is this? But of course, you have YouTube making you pay to not see these ads. Defo, some homes are starting to look like something out of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Dean from Canada. Did I show up during a bathroom break or something? Yes, I am back. Hello, Dean. Hope you're well and enjoying the videos. Thanks for sharing some of your memories of your childhood. I'm currently enjoying a few nips of the Gleaming. Nice one. Enjoy, Dean. Hope you're well. Currently enjoying some Glenlivet 18. Nice choice. I now want to listen to William Shatner's solo albums. Forgot this one. Yeah. Obviously, absolutely, I did that thing based on Rocket Man. Merry Christmas, dude. Yeah, you timed that well. William Shatner, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Completely inspired by William Shatner. The BD-5J jet is the microjet from the Bond movie Octopussy. Okay, I see. Did Corgi ever do one of those? I did have a few Corgi Junior's Bond vehicles as a kid. I think I still have the Lotus. That was my childhood version. And I may have the Moonraker shuttle as well. So if no one's joining in, just keep the questions coming in. Yes, I'm going to ask. So with it being Christmas Eve tomorrow, are there any traditions that you like to carry out on Christmas Eve? All I know is that tomorrow I'll be doing a lot of food preparation, peeling vegetables, making stuffing, getting a turkey ready, all that good stuff. Honestly, I did the same thing last Christmas, and that does not feel like 12 months ago. It feels at most, I don't know, 6, 7 months, not 12, that's for sure. Ed loved the Lotus, although it didn't fare as well in the bath as it does in the movie. England is unrecognizable now in certain regions. Since 2000, it's been an unstoppable juggernaut. That really is quite sad. Oh, Petchy is here. Hi, Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, who's this? It's Mrs. AT8. But I think I've been on my good behavior so far, which is a nice change. But again, we've got 40 minutes left. Let's get these questions coming in. But I think tonight I'm going to watch a Two Ronnies Christmas special. I think if someone asked me what is the greatest comedy act of all time, that would be my answer, the Two Ronnies. So I'm going to watch a nice Christmas special of them. I actually got a message on the All Things 80s Facebook page with a link to, I think it may have been the 84 Christmas special, but it had been recorded off a VHS tape. So you had the BBC one ident, and in fact it was a BBC one Scotland. So you had the Scottish voiceover, and they gave you a trailer for, I think it was Only Fools and Horses. So I'm going to watch that one tonight. Left 4 Dead. Vet saying hi to Petchy. Ben is saying hi to Petchy. Hope you have a lovely holidays. Thank you, Ben. Not sure if this applies to all, but Christmas chocolate, roses, quality street, Scots clan celebrations, or milk trade discuss. Hang on. Let me get to my little soundboard here because someone at the door. Lester.
Howdy, Dean. Good to finally meet you.
Likewise. In fact, didn't we once talk on Tim's live stream?
I believe so. Yes, we did. Yeah.
So how are you?
Doing okay. Doing all right. Just like I said, I got first half of packing done, which is all the Christmas gifts I intend to give, and then with my typical tradition nowadays, and I think that's across the board for my siblings and then even my parents, is that we travel often in our own ways. And so we'll go to the airport and we'll find something. I'm out here in Oregon, whereas the rest of my family are still in California. So I'll go in, and I'm sure it's in a lot of airports in different cities where you'll get trinkets, goodies, stuff unique to the state you're in. So
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. In actual fact, airports are wonderful sources of gifts.
Yeah.
We've always picked up things to give to people. As it happens, hopefully some of Mrs. AT8's friends are not watching this because they will be getting some gifts on Monday
Yes.
from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's see. Jared was asking about chocolates. Now, Lester, are there any particular chocolates that you enjoy either consuming or giving at Christmas time?
Ooh. I like the right dark chocolate.
Wow.
I know some people can do 100% or 90%.
Oh yeah.
I tried that. It's gotta be mixed with something if you're gonna go that dark.
Yeah.
So I've had some with chopped almonds or full almonds. That's probably one of my favorites. Is like if it's done well, the almond mixture with dark chocolate. I've had some with filling. Mm-hmm. So if they do it right, I try to remember if I had chocolates with some sort of liqueur filled in. Okay. So excellent. I'm a sucker for those.
Yeah. So to answer Gerard's question, for me, I do like Cadbury's Roses.
Oh.
So Mercer's Hideout has said, the one thing that still shocks me is they never made a line of Bond figures in the style of G.I. Joe. Imagine all the Bonds in different outfits, cars, play sets. They would have made a fortune. Absolutely. It may have been some sort of licensing issue. Who knows?
Yeah.
Andrew has asked, does Mrs. AT8 sympathize with the illness or get extremely frustrated by my incapacitation like mine? 1 foot in the grave for me tonight. The series not impending death. Actually, she's the one that gave it to me. Oh. I've given her the nickname of Super Spreader because when we were in Thailand, she got COVID first, then I got it, and with this one, she had this one first, and I got it. So yeah, she has to show some sympathy.
So real quickly, how long ago did you come back from Thailand again? I know you're back in New York, and my apologies. When I asked about traditions, I thought you were based out of Scotland still. I might have missed some verbiage in your streams where you might have alluded to where you are now. So my apologies.
Oh no.
I was just curious about traditions that you might have done in your old country when
not really. I mean, a tradition, I guess. So when I was very young, my grandparents would come out to stay with us for Christmas.
Okay.
And it typically involved, on Christmas Eve, my dad picking them up, bringing them back to the house, and then we would go out for lunch somewhere.
Okay.
That was a tradition that I very much enjoyed. But yeah. And Gerard says, a very, very Merry Christmas to Petchy. Thank you, Gerard. And Vintage Toy Rush says, my other half is from Sweden. We celebrate on the 24th and 25th. Tomorrow we have smorgasbord if we were in Sweden, and we'd watch Donald Duck and his friends with the rest of the country at 3 p.m. Interesting.
Oh, didn't know that that's a major thing. Ooh.
Yeah. Kenny is saying, just popping to say Merry Christmas and all in the chat. I'll have an early start for work, so I'll catch up tomorrow. Thank you. Quality Street are the best nowadays since Cadbury is not made in the UK. Actually, funny you should mention that, because I did have Cadbury's Roses. When I say recently, we're talking 3-4 years ago, and they were not the same as I remember them as a kid. Not only were the wrappers completely different, the variety of flavors had changed somewhat, and the taste was just not the same. It's very sad when something you enjoyed as a kid has morphed into something completely unrecognizable. So Gerard is a dark chocolate fan. Yeah, I always remember my dad was a fan of Bourneville. I'm more of a milk chocolate kind of guy.
Believe it or not, I don't know when you left the UK, and it's interesting that you mentioned you're no longer a UK citizen. That's an interesting story, because I had to do the same when I naturalized in '99 for the US. I was born in the Philippines, but no memories of, because I left when I was just a year old. So anyway, but I remember growing up in the 80s seeing the commercials for the Cadbury chocolates.
Yeah.
You know, because if I remember, what they did was they flash a live bunny and doing the bunny sounds, and then the narrative, and then they'll show the different chocolates, and I forgot what they were filled with, but they were filled with something unique.
There were many varieties in the Roses box, but my particular favorite was the one in the purple wrapper. There was a hazelnut in caramel covered in milk chocolate. Fantastic. Hey to Kenny. Ben saying Merry Christmas to Kenny. Andrew says, Dean, I can't afford to recollect Transformers vintage. What are Chinese knockoffs like? Really, like the packaging is the same as the 80s? Do they hold up or perish on one shelf? I can say from first-hand experience, the KOs are fantastic. The packaging is spot on. The toys themselves are spot on. And in actual fact, they're probably better than some of the Hasbro reissues that came out, in years gone by, because they actually, in fact, Hasbro did a bunch of reissues through Walmart a number of maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they did not give you that red plastic decoder strip to put over the text spec, but the KOs come with all that. They come with the instructions. I'm just looking here, I must have at least half a dozen Chinese KOs, and they are absolutely perfect.
That's funny you mentioned that, because I know there's, depending on what you're looking to get, and this is just from my experience working in a .com in the mid 2000s, like 07 up to 10, and there was always chatter. It was a different industry. It was video game accessories, but I think maybe it's different nowadays, but they always talked about what factory they went with, and not all factories are created equally, and I know that each factory gets a bad rap. So I'm not surprised that there'll be better ones, and just hearing the chatter again, just like that factory goes to those who will pay them the most. And it's like one of those pecking orders. If you can't get in on that factory A, you got to go to factory C, B, C, and everybody else. So.
So Ed has received a Highland toffee. Oh, now I've not had a Highland toffee. At least 3 decades at this point. Do they still have the Highland cow on the wrapper? I'd love to see one of those again. Sorry, I had to nip out for a bathroom break. Back now. Okay. Why does time go faster when you're older? The years fly by now, but when we were kids in the 80s, the 6 week school holidays lasted for an eternity. Yeah. I always remember one thing that sticks in my mind. It was, if you remember, so Lester, we had this show, kids show on Saturday called the Wide Awake Club,
Okay.
WAC for short. And
Okay.
during the school holidays, they had Whack a Day, which was every morning.
Okay.
And one morning was Christmas Eve. And the host, Timmy Mallet, said, today is Christmas Eve. It's the longest day in the year.
Okay.
Of course, technically not correct. But what he meant was, as a kid, waiting for Christmas Day,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
It did feel that way because you'd wake up on Christmas Eve knowing that the following day you were going to get all these amazing new toys, and it took forever for that day to come.
So for the longest time until 03, 04, my brother and I shared a den room. So what that entailed within the architecture of the house that was back then, we had a giant door until I forget when my dad finally said, okay, we're going to make a door for this. But for the longest time, there was never a door.
Right.
And my parents would put the Christmas tree with the lights running overnight. And I couldn't sleep because of all that. And especially when Christmas Eve hit.
Yeah.
When Santa going to give me my gift? Because you can kind of tell, like, you just know what the tree looks like before all the gifts. And then, I'll likely be the first one up. It's like, it's Christmas time. Yeah. So I'm like waking up. I have this alarm clock. You go, oh, it's 3 something or 4 something. I'm like, trying to get back to bed. And those Christmas lights drove me nuts when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember as a kid, on Christmas Eve, I would be so hyper with excitement.
Yeah.
I think on occasion, my dad may have slipped some whiskey into my soda to try and get me to pass out because I was so hyperactive. And then I would even go to the great lengths whereby I would grab a flashlight to keep it by my bed.
Yeah.
So that if I woke up at 4 a.m, I could put on my flashlight and walk through the house to try and see if Santa had been.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Oh my God, those days. And my parents did a good job. Like once we saw things, we saw the dots connect. I'm like,
yeah.
So, and it's funny, just decades. We would joke about it at the dinner table whenever we would convene. Like I would go down, my sisters would go up, and we were just like, Dad, how'd you pull it off?
Yeah.
The handwriting was even different.
You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, it just reminded me how spoiled we were as kids. Right. It's like, dear Santa, I want.
Yeah.
Forgot what I want. Like, I asked for a Game Gear one Christmas, and it was like the whole kit and caboodle one could get from a Game Gear, and like, man, I'm kicking myself because we ended up giving these things we think we were not going to use anymore. We give them to our cousins in the Philippines. Like,
right.
And like, dang it, why didn't I keep it?
Yeah. So Andrew has said he's now sold. He's going to go onto AliExpress and get these knockoff Transformers. That's good. Werther's Originals is a Christmas classic suite. Yeah, still get those here. Local Heroes says the ZSR guys and guests were speaking highly of you last night, Dean. They have your back. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Do you know what that ZSR stands for? I might want to check them out. I might have already have them on my thing, but I just didn't know what the ZSR stood for.
I think it's Zero Shabby Review.
Okay.
I've not seen them in a long time.
Gotcha.
Meant to say, I once received a Highland Toffee selection box, basically a box of bars that guaranteed a trip to the dentist. Yes, that toffee would put fillings out, or even teeth out for that matter. Yeah.
I still to this day, like I had some candy bars a friend of mine gave me yesterday. I was like, I gotta have my caramel liquefied. Just the
Mm,
texture of semi-solid
yeah,
caramel just bugs the nuts out of me.
yeah. Um, George says here in Ireland we got 8 weeks holidays if you were in primary school, or 12 weeks if you were in high school. That was for
Really?
summer. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Uh, it wasn't until I was much older that I realized that certain food and drink items weren't exclusive to Christmas. Stuff such as Appletiser, Schlur, Viennetta ice cream, or Pavlova, to name only a few. Yeah, although in saying that, those were when Christmas was when those things came, were, or
Mm,
the family would buy them to present them for parties and things.
right. Okay.
And he asks, did you have any experience of food that you only consumed at Christmas time? Yeah, of course. Um, uh, I was going to say, I was about to say tomato juice, but I should say it was tomato juice. We always had at Christmas time with Worcester sauce in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm,
Obviously, stuffing and turkey and everything, chipolata sausages. Um, but in terms of snacks and things, it was really only at Christmas time we had peanuts,
mm,
salted or dry roasted.
yeah.
And another one, I think I discussed this on the last live stream, were those, well, at the time, I found them to be quite disgusting, but they were called Twiglets. It was a pretzel type thing
Okay.
covered in a sort of a sticky coating, which I believe might have been Marmite or something. Those were definitely Christmas specific, but the one I remember the most were Matchmaker chocolate sticks, either orange or mint, which were
That's
fantastic.
interesting. Just growing up in the household I did,
Yeah,
it was just hearty food, and I guess the only thing Christmassy would be whether the sweets having been baked. Like maybe I still remember making like Christmas cookies, the ones
yeah,
shaped in the tree and so forth.
right.
But that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. And Technical Defense says, do you remember the 2p Cadbury mini chocolate dispensers from the early 80s? You put in 2p in and got either a dairy milk or a mini Bourneville. It was a red plastic. Yeah, I remember that indeed. That was sold in the catalogs. In fact, I'll need to look those up because I always wanted one of those, but I never got one. But I assumed you could
Mhm.
use it as a piggy bank once the chocolate was gone.
Mm.
Ben has said, best explanation I've heard is when you're 5 years old, it's 20% of your memory, but when you're 50, it's only 2%. I guess it makes sense, like less has happened. Yeah, that's true.
Interesting. I just think just because of at least for myself, I'm still in workers mode. So
Yeah.
I don't know how long I'll be working till, maybe until I keel over. But it's just something where your day goes by and your day is done and you go to bed and it's wash, rinse, and repeat. And
Yeah,
it seems like the week goes by fast.
yeah,
And weeks go into months and months go into the year.
true. And Andrew has said, or after 8 mint chocolate, remember my dad could nail a pack of those and a pack of Hamlets upon a Christmas Eve. Didn't it seem problematic for my dad to smoke in the lounge then? Yeah. Actually, for some reason, the smell of cigar smoke does remind me of Christmas as a child because my grandfather would smoke a cigar in the house.
Hmm.
And that smell kind of reminds me of Christmas, which is quite nice. Andrew again, nothing was problematic in the 80s. No, nothing's ever a problem. No, not at all. I enthusiastically bought a triple pack of After Eights, enjoyed part of the first box. Even nostalgia couldn't help me finish the box, let alone the other two. Yeah, they're very sickly. Um, uh, I've not had one of those in a long time, but yeah, I think I could eat 2 or 3, and that would be my limit, I would imagine.
Mm.
Do you guys recall orange and grape club bars? Absolutely. Uh, Club biscuits. Now, I remember there was one with a golf ball and a green element on the wrapper that might have been the plain chocolate one. The club I think, was the Queen of Clubs, and that was the grape or the raisin one. There was the orange one, obviously, and there was possibly a red one with a playing card. Please do let me know. But I remember there being at least 4. I was a big fan of Club biscuits. Loved the Matchmaker, basically a chocolate twiglet. Yeah, amazing that you can eat so much of the one meal on Christmas and sicken yourself much that you wait another 12 months until you have it again. Matchmakers are tremendous, too easy to eat. Yes. Cigar smoke smell is Christmas. Yes, thank you. And Drone says, love a club. Yeah, I've got, actually, believe it or not, a couple of years back, I saw some club biscuits for sale in the supermarket here in Brooklyn. So, of course, I snapped those up. But yeah, another thing that I do remember about Christmas Eve, and I will be doing this tomorrow. I had to go into Amazon to buy myself a box of mince pies. I don't know if you know about mince pies, Lester.
Maybe if by picture, but not by name.
Well, it's a fruit pie. Okay. It's a very rich mixture of raisins, sultanas, possibly even cranberry, bit of ginger, some nuts, some peel, in a very sort of thick, goopy mess encased in pastry.
I would be down to try that, actually. Yeah. Just hearing that description. But you brought some member berries when you mentioned you were going to be making trifle. Like,
yes,
I don't know if he's still around, but my uncle who married my mom's sister, who's out in, if I know how to pronounce where they were, I think it's Worcestershire. I don't even know, Worcestershire, or I don't know what town they were. I know they said it was like an hour or something from London.
Yeah.
But anyway, when he visited us for the first time, he made us trifle almost daily.
Yeah. So if anyone watching doesn't know about trifle, let me explain real quick. I'll be doing this tomorrow. So typically, the first layer is a sponge-based layer.
Okay.
And in the UK, I think they use what's called ladies' fingers, which are a very hard type of sponge. But when the liquid goes on, it softens them. But in America, I use just pound cake.
Oh.
So I slice up pound cake, put that on the base. I then cover that pound cake with sherry, which I have some here that I'm enjoying. Sherry.
Okay.
Then I buy a can of fruit cocktail.
Okay.
Drain off the juice and put the fruit cocktail over. I slice up some bananas, add those, and then mix up a portion of jelly, or jello as Americans call it. I think this year we have cherry flavored. Typically, I would like raspberry, but I couldn't find any. But a layer of jelly, let that set. So just to recap, sponge soaked in sherry, fruit, bananas, jelly. Once the jelly sets, make some custard.
Okay. Yeah.
Pour the custard over the jelly.
Yeah.
Let that set. Once that is set, whip up some cream. Apply the cream. Smooth it over. Buy yourself a jar of maraschino cherries.
Okay.
Place those on top of the cream in regular positions. And then get yourself some sprinkles, cover the top, and we are done. When you serve, you have to be sure to put the spoon down to the bottom of the bowl to ensure that all the layers are present in that serving. And when consumed, it's one of the best flavors ever.
Oh.
And that is a real taste of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Ed has said, Red Playing Card Club was milk chocolate, golf ball was plain. Right. I think I was correct there. Also, there was a mint with a leaf. Yep, absolutely. I remember those club bars. The green with the golf ball was dark chocolate. Not sure about the others. A few years ago, they re-released Umbongo, and it had it with some vodka. One was to ruin nostalgia. Yeah, Umbongo was a very sickly, sweet sort of fruit drink.
Mm.
Yeah, with a hangover. Okay. I haven't seen club bars on sale in the UK since I was a kid. Used to love the purple one with raisins. Yep, that's absolutely it, Ben. Ben, you can still get the orange club and a gold one. What's a gold one? Yeah. And Andrew says, on trifle, sounds easier to buy one, Dean. Admire the person. Oh, no. No. Also, again, I'm assuming at this point in time, none of Mrs. AT8's friends are watching, but they love my trifle to the point whereby for the past 2 years, when they come over on Christmas Day, the whole thing is gone and I have none left for Boxing Day. So this year I'm making 2 trifles, one for the party on Christmas Day and one is my own special reserve.
Okay.
So yeah, last year I was absolutely devastated because I was looking forward to having some more on Boxing Day, and it was all gone. On Bongo, Lenny Henry sang the song in the commercial. I just remember on Bongo, they drink it in the Congo. The monkey took the apple juice, the giraffe took the something or other. I could be wrong, but something along those lines. Did you ever put money in the trifle? My Scottish parents did. No, you're supposed to put a penny in the Christmas pudding, I believe.
Oh.
And it's supposed to bring good luck. But the chances are all it's going to do is bring a trip to the dentist if you bite on a bit of pudding with a penny inside. And also as well, in this day and age, you wouldn't be putting a penny that's been passed through the public's hands for the last 5 years into something that you intend to consume. Okay, so we're clearly chocoholics. Class dismissed. Oh yeah. Honestly, I do believe there is something quite magical about chocolate, because whatever kind of mood you're in, the minute that chocolate hits your tongue, your brain just starts firing off these endorphins, and like, oh my god, life is good when you eat chocolate.
Yep.
Are you doing the Argos catalog flick through, Dean? Or did you do that a few weeks ago? Feels like an essential part. Yeah, but you know what the trouble is? We've done it for the past few years, so there's nothing new to look at. I was going to do one today, but we're getting close to the end, so we can. You know what? Catalogs can be whenever. It doesn't just have to be Christmas, so we can always look at catalogs in 2024. Jody Cash, it's life like a Christmas mistake, ending only in tears and a nasty infection. Yeah, I would say so. Did you stay up all night to catch Santa? 1 year I stayed up, crept onto the upstairs landing to listen downstairs and heard the sounds of sellotape. Shouted down, "What's that? Dad, get back to bed." Yeah.
Mine wasn't that vocal. Was like,
no, actually, a funny story that, believe it or not, I can still remember this clear as day.
okay.
And I could only have been maybe 4 or 5. As I said earlier, my grandparents would come out to stay with us.
Yeah.
And Christmas Eve, I'd been sent to bed. And obviously, with the excitement, I couldn't sleep. So I got up out of bed, say maybe 11 p.m. or something.
Right.
And I could still hear voices in the living room. And I could see my mom, my dad, and my grandma had their pajamas and dressing gowns on.
Yeah.
But my granddad was still dressed in his clothes.
Oh.
And apparently my words were, "Oh, Granddad, you must have got up early." He hadn't even gotten ready for bed yet. He was still in the same clothes he'd been wearing all day. But in my little mind, I thought everyone else had just woken up like I had, and there was Granddad fully dressed.
Right.
I guess you had to be there. But yeah, it was a wonderful sort of memory. But also as well, I also associate not only the smell of cigar smoke with Christmas, but also the sound of voices in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was always a pretty quiet house where I lived. But at Christmas time, there were always people over. There was always parties going on and things. But yeah. So are you leaving for the airport today, Lester?
Oh no, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Flying on Christmas Eve.
I flew out Christmas morning one year, and it was dead.
Dead? Oh, really?
Yeah, because everybody did what they needed to do before the holiday started.
Right.
I just rationalized with my folks at the time. I said 350, 112. It was just to book something was much cheaper to fly out Christmas morning than flying out ahead of time. It's just it's been a great thing to have internet availability where you can the airline sites. It's some of them are good where they can tell you, okay, this is how much it's going to cost to fly out this day versus the other days next to it. So it's like, okay, it seems better that I fly out on Saturday or Wednesday in the middle of the week, that kind of thing. It's like, I'll go with that. And that's why I chose tomorrow, because I think of the available days and ticketing prices, tomorrow was probably the cheaper among the rest.
Yeah. So Ben has asked, cheeky question, what do you and everyone in the chat think of a post-Christmas, pre-New Year's All Things 80s live stream? Yeah.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we could do that. And Ed has asked, what toy have you seen whilst doing your Christmas shopping this year that 10-year-old self would most like? Oh.
It was probably, if what I see on YouTube is true, with all the markdowns done, I can easily see myself going to some, whether it's Target or elsewhere, because I don't know if bookstores are still a thing in New York, but at least Barnes and Noble in my neck of the woods still around. But they have a little toy section that I can take a peek at what they may have.
Yeah.
So if I go to the right place, I can see myself window shop for anything like G.I. Joe related, because I know they push some of the, I don't know what you would call them, a redo collection, like a 1980s Snake Eyes that somebody recommended. So I might scour the shelves if I had all the time in the world to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe get a Wolverine figure from off the 90s animated series.
Yeah. Well, now my answer, it's not something I saw while I was Christmas shopping, but during a conversation with a friend in Scotland, he mentioned Scalextrics sets. I don't know if you know what that is, Lester. Scalextrics, it's like slot racing cars.
Oh yes, yes. We had something like that in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned those. So I went onto Amazon to have a quick look, and yes, they have them on Amazon. So 10-year-old me would like one of those again. I did have one as a kid. A lot of fun indeed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, Ed has said it's a good idea, Ben. And Andrew says 80s Christmases were the best. That's when plastic sacks came fashionable, which left plenty of room for more toys. Never forget getting Mask Volcano from Santa and Rhino from my parents. Fantastic. Yeah, I also remember when the stocking morphed into this massive plastic sack. I guess that was typical of the sort of 80s excessiveness, whereby for decades a stocking sufficed. But when it came to the 80s, it had to be a big plastic sack at the end of your bed. I told my wife I wanted Snake Mountain from Christmas. When she saw what that was, she looked like she wanted to divorce me. I think I'm getting a shirt instead.
Yeah.
laughing at Andrew. Pre-New Year stream would be awesome. No way I would miss it, sir. Ben, I tip my hat to you for such a stellar suggestion. Yes, thank you for the suggestion, Ben. Good one.
So real quickly, right? So in the United States, and you might have been around at the time, but every New Year's Eve, at least the radio stations I frequented growing up, they would do a countdown.
Yeah.
So for those who might not remember, for those, before the advent of digital music, the way we would collect our holiday jam is like, we'll let the radio play. And if you had the tape deck, what we usually did was, because we had it, we would hit record once they started the countdown.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, because was that something you would do?
Well, what we had was, in the UK, we had the top 40 chart countdown every Sunday.
Oh, right.
And you would sit with your blank tape in the cassette deck and your fingers hovering over play and record, trying to time it to avoid the DJ speaking.
Yeah.
So you would get only the song you wanted.
Wow.
And but if you think about it, though, we were pirating songs long before Napster, because essentially we were getting the songs we wanted without paying a penny for them.
Yeah. Same thing when we were growing up around the VCR. Once we got a programmable VCR, it was over. Like, okay, we're gonna record this show.
So Ed has his Skeletric set up in the lounge. Nice one, Ed.
Ooh.
And that's a good one. Nice one. Boulder Hill was easily one of the best and most fondly remembered gifts from Santa. Another year, it was Visionaries. Toys are awesome. They were awesome times. Yes, they were. Oi. I didn't know this was happening. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Skeletrix is one of my earliest Christmas memories and still have it all. Nice one, Ben.
Nice on you.
Oh, Mark. Hi, Mark. And good to see you here. Merry Christmas to Cogler's Law. My family would always settle down after Christmas dinner and listen to a Billy Connolly record.
Yeah.
I never got the jokes as a kid. Probably best I did not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I remember my dad having a Billy Connolly cassette, and most of the jokes went over my head as a kid, but there was one where I think he was talking about a hangover and drinking iron brew, and he said something about, it makes your breath smell like a badger's bum, which just made me as a kid laugh hysterically.
Yeah. I may not remember him I probably saw his name in the credits, but I had to dig him up real quick just because I'm just thinking, is that the same guy I'm thinking of? Because I only saw his later stuff, but
is it long hair and the beard?
Yeah. And I remember he had been on a sitcom called Head of the Class towards the end of that series run.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's the guy, and I forgot where else he was, but yeah, maybe rest in peace.
Yeah. So Ed never had Skeletrix as a child, so I needed to put that right when I had my own show. Nice.
Good job.
Mark, good to see you. The good old days of recording the charts on a Sunday and trying to pause before the DJ started talking over it. Absolutely. In the 90s, I recorded over all my classic VHS recordings with Eurotrash. Yeah, I was coming of it. And that was someone Ferrari. Was it Lolo Ferrari with these huge fake knockers, I seem to remember. Ben saying Merry Christmas to Mark, and Mark back to Ben. Dean, have you seen the Transformers Tonka mashup? It's a 6-figure gift pack like the Devastator pack. You put them together to make a massive Transformer, but they look like Constructicon vehicles.
That's interesting. I never really recalled that. My thing with Transformers ended really quickly in my childhood. I think I moved off of them or G.I. Joe or Ninja Turtles, but I don't remember that being a thing. I knew that was a thing for Voltron, and then as the 90s came in, the Power Rangers with their Megazords, but I didn't think, was there ever that kind of concept in the overall Transformers? That I don't know.
Mark says, "Loved your time capsule tape, Dean. I don't think I could have been brave enough to share something similar. Had me a bit teary." Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm I'm so happy to have that in my possession. What a wonderful gift that was. So yeah, best you could lay your hands on then, apart from what you found in the woods. Ah, yes. Lester, I don't know if you know what that means there.
Oh wait, let me see.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that figure of speech.
No, well, what it means is when we were kids growing up, you always found porno magazines discarded in the woods.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very. It must be a British thing, perhaps. Um,
Probably.
Billy Connolly's. No, he's not dead.
He's not okay. I'm sorry.
No.
No,
Or
okay.
did you say he was dead?
No, I thought he was because
Oh no.
when you query the search results, it goes
Yeah.
Billy Connolly death. I'm like, no,
Okay.
he's still around.
They don't make them like Billy Connolly anymore. A great mind, a great talent, and many. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I missed one there. Uh, Grr, another bloody AD.
Ad. It looks like
Yes, yeah. Okay, I'm going to investigate this. Maybe I need to unclick something.
Well, I don't know if you're on Michael's Patreon, but he
Oh,
did issue a Patreon message about that.
right.
So the guest is that even for something like the YouTube channel for those who are Patreon subscribers, that has been getting some ad insertions as well, even though it's not monetized.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So that's what he's pretty much getting at, is that YouTube, like you were saying, they're trying to milk whatever they can, even for those channels that are not monetized.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that I don't know about you, but I put some stuff on another outlet like Rumble, for example.
Right.
I don't know about other platforms, but I'll stay on YouTube until YouTube just peters out.
Yeah.
But I know what people are getting at when YouTube does shenanigans like this in
Sure.
others, you know.
Sure. Collins Law says 51, and I bet I still don't get a big track. Links Africa still heading my way. Yeah. Oh, I remember when I turned sort of 18, 19, and the gifts at Christmas really began to suck.
Oh,
There were no toys, there were no chocolate. It was like socks, aftershave, and deodorant.
what are you trying to say?
Yeah. As a kid, I loved Mask and Transformers, but struggled even as a 5-year-old with how a cassette player was the same size as a car. That's
Yeah,
true. That's a good point.
That's fair.
Still bothers Andrew. Same here, Dean. Regarding Woods magazines, yep. No, he's like 82, but I don't believe he's. I believe he has Parkinson's. Yeah, I think that's correct. That's Billy Connolly.
Okay.
Yeah, on many a dog walks back then. Yeah, the dog walks or dogging. Those are two different things. Magazines for Wood. Yeah, technically yes.
That's the way of looking at it.
Ads tend to follow your browsing history. Dangerous in a lot. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, for the very first time, I noticed this recently because I deliberately set not to save my search history in YouTube.
Right.
And now when I click the homepage, it says it looks like you turned off your watch history. Do you want to turn it back on? I'm like,
Oh, really?
it sucks, but no, I don't. I still don't want to turn it on.
Oh, well, now this is interesting. So my friend in Scotland did a video the other day where he did a review of an album,
Okay.
which was a tribute to the dead guitarist from the band Status Quo.
All right.
So I thought, okay, I'll listen to this album via Alexa.
No. Okay.
So I played it via that device, and following from that, all my YouTube homepage videos are Status Quo videos.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's an odd thing because you wouldn't think that different dynamics seem to be at work, whether that's because you're logged into your Google account. If you happen to be so, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if somehow there's some cross-referencing there,
Yep.
especially if you might have accidentally logged into your Amazon whatever via your
Yeah.
Google or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's just it's a tough landscape to navigate,
It
especially
really
when
is.
you want to get them off your back.
Yeah. And Brian has said, Dean, awesome channel, mate. Have a great Christmas, mate, and a great New Year. Thank you so much, and the same to you. And Ed has said, still got a copy of Razzle, discreetly disguised behind a Smash Hits magazine cover. Um, funnily enough, I don't know why, I still have a copy of Razzle that I bought circa 2000. Obviously, in this day and age, anything I wish to see can be seen on the internet.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, nostalgia has me holding on to this old magazine. Very strange.
You never know with the digital age that they can take that that material and edit it.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's another reason why I talk about physical media, not just consisting of DVDs and Blu-rays, but books, publications. Because yes, you'll have multiple editions, but those take time to get pushed out. But once the original is pushed and it's in your hands, well, we have it circa fill in the blank year. This is what the publication contains.
Right.
No
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah.
So I've actually gone beyond this 2-hour mark.
Oh.
So I'm going to bring this to a close. I know that a lot of you guys want to watch Retro Blasting.
Yeah.
But I will say in closing, thank you all who tuned in today. Thank you to Lester for joining the stream. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much to the super chatters, especially you, Lester. Very generous of you. And as was suggested, we'll do something between Christmas and New Year. So, and Ben is going blind either way. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Yeah, do be careful because they do say too much of that will make you lose your eyesight. Gerard says, Alexa freaks me out. So over time, she has picked up lingo spoken by myself and family. So I'm in Ireland. She now greets us by saying, "What's the crack?" Wow.
Ooh.
Crazy. Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have my Alexa plugged in, my Echo, whatever it is. I haven't plugged it in. Even my Google, what do you call it? The Google Home Mini. I unplugged that.
Right. Ed saying, Merry Christmas to me and all the fans on here. Well, thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Cool. So in closing, thank you all who came into the chat here. Hope you had a fun time. I sure did. We got a lot of chat. Hang on. Let me just get this chat caught up. Jared says, guys, thanks so much for a great time. Merry Christmas all. Merry Christmas to you. If you have a pre-New Year stream, I'll join. Okay, Ed, we can get this set up. So again, thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and we will see you between Christmas and New Year. And Ben has said, great stream, D. Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a great one. You too, Ben. So thank you, everyone. In closing, Merry Christmas and season's greetings to all. And the chats keep coming in. They won't let me go. Merry Christmas. We'll join. Thank you, Andrew. Gerard's giving me, I think it's
like waving a hand.
Waving, okay. Max Video. You should do a vintage Argos catalog game. Choose a page 1 to 2000. Choose an item 1 to. You win a casino calculator. Watchworth. It's a fun game. It's a good idea. Hi, Jonathan. Okay, I think we're at the end. So I've said what I need to say. So I'm not going to be rude by closing this off. But thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.